Moi moi is that nutritional meal that you can eat in the morning as your breakfast and also in the night as your dinner. In fact, you can eat moi moi anytime you want. The thing is that making it from scratch is very stressful, unlike those that buy their powder and just prepare it all along. So right now, we are starting from scratch. This is me peeling and washing my overnight soaked beans, trying to remove all the black eyes. As you can see right now, it is very clear and ready. So I'm going to use some fresh tomatoes and fresh pepper. If you have shombo, you can add. I also added my onions. You need to add some of the things you have, bell peppers and all that can go in right now. But this is what I have to add to this moi moi because I'm going to make a stew with this. So I washed them and added it to my blender, my very little blender. So I'm going ahead to blend it. I am not adding water in this. So when I blend it smoothly, I'm going to add it in my hot oil, cooking oil to dry off. Remember I told you I'll be making stew. So back to the blender, I am going to blend our washed beans. I am using enough water because I am not going to add water while turning the beans. So the water was enough for blending it. You can see it was smoothly blended. So I poured it back and went back to my stew to check if it is dry. Right now it is dried and I poured the oil from the fish I am going to use. So I poured it in so that the taste will be there. So after some time, I seasoned it with seasoning cube, salt, and some spices. Do well to use whatever you like, okay? So I finished and I compressed it with the stew base, So I have to go ahead and get that fish which I used the oil before and put it inside the stew. Do you know what I'm going to do now? I am going to stir in the stew inside the fish so that it will get that taste that's you seasoned it with. I need to incorporate all that taste with it so that it will be infused with it. So after some time, I know that it is ready. I'm going to take it off the stew because I need it to be inside the moi moi separately. You understand? So I removed it and make use of the stew base, which is what we are dealing with here. So I took it down and pour it inside the blended beans. This beans is very smooth and the water content is enough for me. So you don't need to add oil again because there is cooking oil in your stew base and there is seasoning. So at this point you can feel free to adjust your taste with your seasoning cube or your salt. So I tested mine, it was so okay, and I went in to share the puree inside my plate. So I'm using this rubber plate for my moi. So I shared each and every one of them. It gave me about 8 plates, and I am also going to use boiled egg for the filling. So I have 2 boiled eggs and I'm going to share them. So after sharing them, I shared it into 4. So I kept it in 4 plates of the moi moi. Then the remaining fillings will be with the fish. So I shared the fish which I infused with the stew to them. So I made sure that every one of them were rich in protein, and it is full plate of protein because fish is protein, egg is protein, and the moi moi alone is also protein. So once I'm done filling all of them, I'll cover it and set it to the pot which it needs to cook. So this pot was elevated with some of the Titus container, so it cooked so well. I added water and look at the result. It was smooth and cooked well. So look at the texture that this moi moi gave me. It gave me that smooth texture and it was tasting so good. Everything was appropriate, salt and everything. I told you I'm using this for breakfast and I enjoyed it with pap. So I made this pap and I top it up with some milk, and now we're going to enjoy. Are you going to try this recipe? See you next time.